Hiya, friends. Prepared Suburbanite back at you. You know, there's a question that I've been doing a lot of soul searching about that recently popped up in a conversation that I had with somebody sort of close in our circle here. And the question is, why bother? And it's like, why bother prepping? Why bother voting? Why bother taking care of yourself? Why bother doing anything? Stick around, I'll share some interesting thoughts. So why bother voting? It's all rigged anyway. It's a kind of a fairly common comment that I get whenever I talk about voting and politics and what's going on in the 2024 presidential primaries and the race itself and all that. Is like, it's all rigged, so why bother voting? Well, here's why I think it's very important to vote and to be active. Talking to your neighbors, talking to your friends, talking to your families about what's really going on in this world. If you had the chance to watch Denise D'Souza, Dan Bongino's recent video, the movie that they just put out, I was taken aback by the whole police state thing. And it's one of the reasons that our votes really do matter and really do count. If folks had really realized what the current administration was planning on doing 3 years ago when they elected them to office, or almost, yeah, I guess three full years now. If folks had just truly understood what the impact of those decisions that they made, whether they're pro-Trump or anti-Trump or never-Trumpers or pro-Democrat for life or pro-GOP for life, if they had just figured out what was going to happen, if they had a crystal ball to look 3 years in the future to see where we are today, with inflation being where it is, with the prices of goods and services just going right through the roof, I think folks would have spent their time a whole lot better researching the issues before they voted. Yeah, we all don't have crystal balls, but with that said, just knowing what was going to happen, I think most of the folks that were on the GOP side, on the conservative side, really did know what was going to happen, and that's why they turned out to vote. Not enough of them turned out to vote. The left does an extraordinarily good job of controlling access to data, access to information, all the social media interference with what's going on in the whole political arena has been an eye-opener for me. And I'm more resolute now that, given the vote, it's the only thing we've got. We've got our brains, we've got an ability to research issues that are important to us, and we've got the vote, and make sure that they all line up for you. So the second, the second thought on this, why bother, is why bother being prepared? Why bother being a prepper? Well, I mean, you can. Why bother learning how to garden? Why bother trying to learn how to be a self-sufficient as you can be around your own home and your homestead? and it's why bother? You know, you can just go down to the supermarket and pick up whatever you need. If you know, why bother growing a vegetable garden if you can just go to the supermarket or the farmer's market and pick up some green beans and corn and you know, peppers and tomatoes and all that. Why bother? Gee, we've all got an unlimited amount of cash resources, right? So that we can just go do that. I enjoy gardening. I enjoy the labor and watching the fruit of the vine come forward so that we can enjoy it around here. We've learned how to can. We've learned how to preserve. We've got all kinds of cool utensils that we've invested in over time. Water bath canning methodologies, and the equipment that goes along with that, the pressure canning kind of stuff. And my wife's a pro at that kind of stuff. And it really does go a long way to make sure that you know what you're really getting involved in. So why bother? I think we're going to need to be and need to hone those self-sufficient skills as time goes on. Looking at what's going on in the political arenas today, what's going on with the polls, which they're all over the place. Some polls have got Trump winning by a landslide. Other polls have got Biden ahead in key states and in key demographics. And the left is absolutely adept at turning out the vote. So I will chastise the GOP and the Republican Party for not being as active as they could be when it comes to making sure the vote gets out there. So back to prepping. Why is it important to have freeze-dried food? Why is it important to have a freeze dryer? Why is it important to have dehydrated food? Why is it important to have a dehydrator? Why is it important to have the mechanisms and the devices you use to seal up and preserve dry goods like rice and beans and things like that? Why is it important to have 5-gallon buckets ready to go, that food grade, that you can use to store? Why is it important to invest in the plastic bags and the Mylar bags to make sure that you've got the right kind of stuff to preserve your dry goods? When you can go down to the store and just buy the stuff off the shelf at the supermarket, well, that's only going to last for about 3 meals. They say the difference between here and there is 3 meals. We're 3 meals away from anarchy, and I believe that that's going to happen. What do we really prep for? Well, I'm trying to consider every alternative, from volcanoes to earthquakes to hurricanes to political upheaval to an economic disaster to recessions and depressions. You name it, that's what we prep for. And any one of those individual things can happen at any given time, and we need to be self-sufficient enough, savvy enough to know how to use it all, and to hell with living, being dependent on everybody else, the supermarkets, the supply chain, the big corporations. It just doesn't do us a whole lot of good if you're not self-sufficient. So if you're going to depend on the federal government to bail you out, you got to think again. Being prepared is your lifeline for the future. God knows what's going to happen, and I'm sure He does. And I wish we all knew exactly what was going to happen, but we don't. So we need to be prepared for any variable disaster that can come our way. Be prepared always. That's my motto. I think I stole some of that from being a Boy Scout in a previous life when I was much, much younger. But be prepared always, and I'll see you all on the next video.